Moving on. So now Jeremy's like created just with words or with AI. Jeremy's created a long video. Now we're going to turn our attention over to Conor Eliot. And Conor, Opus Clip. And if you've ever sat through our meetings, you know about we play them for 50 minutes and everybody really wants to watch just 30 seconds and get the idea. And guess what we use to make that happen often. So I'm going to introduce Conor and see, Jeremy, we did put video in because we understand. So Conor is going to take you through Opus. So now think about the next step in the process. Nobody wants to watch your boss's keynote speech for 45 minutes or your, all of the debates. They would just want to see the highlights. Take it away, Conor.
Sure thing. Thank you, Robin. First of all, Jeremy, that was awesome. Thank you for sharing. Really, really cool demo. So yeah, Opus Clip is pretty straightforward. I think we're all kind of just trying to solve the same problems, and I think overall looking at AI and where it's going, I think really 2024 is the year for AI in video, right? There's so many different problems that you can solve now with AI, and that we're getting close to being able to solve. And we're really excited about sort of our niche and what we've sort of been able to dominate and master so far, and that is video repurposing. So we're not going to take something and help you make something from scratch. We will take any existing video out there, anything long form that you've created, and help you cut it down and make and find the best highlight moments for you and turn those into clips optimized for their virality to make sure that whatever you have, whatever video content that you have, you will be able to get it in front of the people that you want to be able to see it. And I think that's the most important, most sort of essential part of video these days is that the landscape has changed drastically, right? Whether you're the most camera shy person in the world or you're somebody like Grant Cardone here who is on camera all day, every day, and probably has a film crew following around 100% of the time, you need to be able to get your video in front of the people that you're trying to get them to your audience, right? Whether that audience is a general audience and you're just a podcaster, or you're a podcaster of a very niche topic, or more specifically, if you're a business and you're trying to market to people, right? We also have people in sales and a bunch of different realtors, churches, a bunch of different people that have all started using our product already. And it really all comes down to this, right? You have footage out there, right? This meeting, right? Like Robin just said, is a perfect example of that. You sit on Zoom meetings all the time in the post-pandemic era. We're constantly recording things, so no matter where you are, sort of on that camera comfort level thing, I promise you, you do have footage out there that's worth using and that does have highlight moments that do have value for your business. So just to give you an example, when Grant learned about this, he became a rapid adopter of it. I would say about since finding out about it, about half of his videos that he puts out on his social media that are short form are taken from some of his old content. So, for instance, this was an interview that he did with Kevin Hart at Grant Cardone's convention back in 2021. So this is footage that's been out there and it's been on his YouTube channel since 2021. All he did was take that interview with Kevin Hart, plug it into Opus Clip, and then repost it onto his Instagram a few months ago, and he racked up 7.8 million views. As simple as that. And this is what Opus Clip looks like. Basically, what it does is it automatically reframes your wide format into a vertical format. It'll add captions, it'll add emojis, and it will, give you basically a really clean summary of a highlight moment from that longer video that you had created. So let me get you into the details here and show you how it works. Let me know if you guys are having trouble seeing the screen at all. So basically, here's how it works. You grab any video you want. In this case, I'm going to grab as an example, Javier Milei's speech from the World Economic Forum. I'm grabbing that because it's Creative Commons. So that's another thing, is that there is a lot more stuff that's usable to you out there for you to post and share. We have there's a really popular LinkedIn creator out there named Ruben Hassid, and almost every week he's making a post about us where he's showcasing different ways that with some clever GPT prompts, finding some free content that's out there that's listed as Creative Commons on YouTube, and then putting together a really nice post with a highlight clip on LinkedIn. You can rack up thousands of impressions, or if not millions of impressions on a weekly basis, just doing this format, where you're taking something that's controversial or popular or very topical for some segment of business, then going to GPT saying, hey, I want you to write me a script based on this video, or you know, a copy that goes with this video. GPT writes the copy, you throw it together, you post it on Instagram, or sorry, you post it on LinkedIn, and boom, you just keep doing that on a daily basis. It's actually it only takes about 5-10 minutes of your time, and you will grow on LinkedIn, I promise. But anyway, I digress. This is basically how it works. So all I have to do is, you know, I selected this video, it's Creative Commons. I can copy it. I can copy the link. Oops, I don't want to copy the link address. You copy the link, and then you go to here to our dashboard. You grab the link, you click paste. And once you click paste, it's recognized the video, and then you can do a bunch of different things to it. So for instance, if you want, we have a caption only option, a caption and reframe only option. So if you want to have the original long length video, you can do that. This only works up to 15 minutes though for right now. So anything over 15 minutes. So for instance, if I select this option right now, it'll only take the first 15 minutes of the video. But as long as whatever you're putting in there is under 15 minutes, if you just want the captions and the reframing, no curation, you toggle this on. If you want it to find the best moments for you, though, you leave this off. And then you can pick any part of the video you want, and then you can tell our AI what you're kind of looking for in terms of the length of the clips that you're trying to output, right? So if you only want really short, like 10 to 15 second clips, you select this under 30-second option. And if you really want like long form, wide format clips, you can select the 5 to 10 or 10 to 15 minute options. And then you can choose different styles. You can open up this thing, which is our brand editor. And there's tons of different brand templates. We also have some pre-baked templates for you that you can check out. Sorry, that's struggling to load. And basically you can, you know, here you can basically have all your preset templates plugged in, and then you can basically flip through the pre-selected templates that you want, click get clips in one click, and boom, it will start processing your video for you. You wait about, you know, it usually takes around 10 minutes or so. As you guys saw, who were on the call early, I had actually, when we were previewing this, I had just put this in right before we started this, about, you know, I would say, yeah, maybe 15-20 minutes ago. And the clips are already all ready to go. So this was a 29-minute video. It created, out of those 29 minutes, 21 individual clips. So these are all different clips with different lengths that highlight different things. And each individual clip gives you a score, which is what we call our virality score. This is really what has made us really popular. It's helped us grow and gain over 3 million followers in just a little over 6 months since launch. And that is the ability for the AI to actually give you a predictive score on how well it thinks it's going to perform, how complete it thinks the video is. And then it even goes in and gives you a little blurb where it says, you know, the video starts with a strong and thoughtful, provoking hook, capturing the viewer's attention. It presents a clear and coherent argument supported by a relevant example. So basically, it actually explains to you why it likes it. And then if you go down to the one at the bottom here, which it only gave a score of 60, it tells you why it doesn't actually think it's that great of a video, that great of a clip. But it still provides it to you because who knows, maybe with a little bit of editing or maybe with some tweaking on your end, there's still value there, and it's what you were looking for. So just to give you an example, right? So I grabbed this, you know, just to remind you guys. So this was the long format video that I grabbed originally. So this is Mile giving a speech a day or two ago at the World Economic Forum. And then if I hop over
And we
here,
know those are long. Yeah, we know that.
yes, exactly. Now you can see what it did with it, right? So it turned it into a vertical format. What happened? It added captions. I don't know why it's not playing. The share screen's giving it a hard time.
Main leaders of the Western world have abandoned the model of freedom for different versions of what we call collectivism. We're here to tell you that collectivist experiments are never the solution.
So this is what it's able to do, right? So it was able to find a really key part of the video that it thought was important. It put it together for you, and then it added the captions automatically. And then from here, we have a almost limitless number of possibilities of what you can do with it. So first and foremost, we have this ability you can actually see all the text here. You can edit text like in Descript. So if I wanted to say, for instance, hey, I actually want a morally desirable system to be the end of it, I can set that as the end, and boom, that will now be the end of the clip. I can also change the colors of the highlighted text. I can add emojis into any given point, and then I can also cut out the middle. So if I wanted to like highlight these words, for instance, that I don't want them, I can delete that, and it'll delete from the clip. And then you can also sort of cut and edit from a frame by frame level here in the editor. And then from a design standpoint, you have a lot of different options. So first and foremost, layout wise, for instance, if it's a meeting like this and we have many different speakers and a lot going on, the AI will actually be able to choose a format that works for up to 4 speakers, right? So it doesn't handle more than 4 speakers very well, just because the boxes start to get very small in vertical format and it's hard to see people. But it'll accommodate up to 4 faces on the screen at a time. That is the one facial recognition element of what we do, right? Is that we are trying to constantly focus on the person's face. We want to make sure that whoever's speaking is able to stay locked in on their face. And then we also have a screen share feature. So if you are sharing your screen like I am right now, you will be able to get that screen into the clip as well. And then a couple of the other cool things we have are, for instance, auto B-roll. So to give you an example of what auto B-roll looks like. Oh, that's still processing there. Let's hop over to here. Here's what auto B-roll looks like. Auto B-roll, basically, when you turn it on, it will automatically find moments in the video that it thinks are appropriate for you to add B-roll into the video. And it will take it, it will add it in, and then you'll see it shows up here in the editor. So for instance, it identified NFL, and it gave me this option. And then if I go ahead over here, I can see that it searched NFL. So I can research and actually can go through and I can pick the option that I want. We have both Shutterstock and Pexel as options. So if you wanted to do something, if you wanted to do a free option, you can do that. If you want to do Shutterstock, we have a deal with them that makes their B-roll footage extremely, extremely cheap. But you still have to pay Shutterstock. We don't own Shutterstock, unfortunately. Maybe one day.
And you can use your own B-roll also, your own like videos, right?
Yes, that's coming here at the end of the month. It's
Gotcha.
a little bit trickier to do, less because of the importing of the individual videos, but more because of we still want it to be more automated and dynamic as much as possible. So what our ambition is, what we're trying to do with the add your own B-roll, is actually allow you to connect in your own B-roll library. So if you have like a lot of different options, you can put it in it. But as a stopgap, we are adding the ability for you to just pick one specific B-roll that you want and throw it in there here at, like I said, before the end of the month. And then, so you can see another example here. This one said rookie. Maybe I don't want rookie. I can always just change the keyword that I wanted and adjust it like that. For instance, to say newcomer instead. Let's see if it gives me better options. Right. And then it gives me different options there. So that's how our B-roll feature works. And then on top of that, we have like a lot of different styles and templates and a bunch of different things that you can do. And if you're a pro and or you're working on a team, let's say you're a team of 10, 20, 30, or a big organization, you can actually take the clips that you receive and export them directly into Adobe. So if I exit here.
Main leaders of the Western world have a
I can actually export the clip as an XML file, and it will actually give you everything that you need besides any overlays that you add. Any overlays that you added in here, like if you wanted to add your logo or things like that, you'd still have to reapply them in Adobe because we don't want them to block whatever editing you're trying to do in Adobe. But besides that, everything else will automatically apply and show up in Adobe for you. So that's pretty much that. That's what we're doing with Opus Clip.
And that
Yeah.
you come up with the titles for each section also. That's generated automatically to me that. So just like as a user, the things that amazed me were you generated the titles off of the text, and I kind of used it as a bad Robin reminder, like the things that scored lower in the bottom, try and stay away from speaking like that. Like, so I actually used it to kind of give messages more impact.
Yeah, exactly. Like when we first built the tool, we were really thinking about a very narrow use case. Like we were thinking, oh, content creators, they have such a hard time, navigating the modern, digital landscape. long form content has always been king, but people aren't watching long form anymore. They don't have attention spans. TikTok has changed everything. So that was sort of where we started. We have no idea how many people would adopt this or how they would use it. For instance, there's a popular creator on LinkedIn named Charlotte Lloyd, who figured out that, hey, she's a sales expert and a sales consultant. And she realized if I use this with my clients and I actually have them give me footage from their sales calls and clip it for them, I can actually show them examples without me having to actually really do any work. I just have to go through and watch a few of the clip results. I can show them examples of when the salesperson did a great job versus did a terrible job just by looking at like the rankings and seeing, okay, this is a highlight moment, and the AI was able to identify it because they were able to engage the person that they were trying to sell to. And on the flip side, some of the ones that got ranked really poorly actually sort of indicate, okay, something didn't go right here, right? There's big awkward pauses. The person is maybe there's a connection issue, or more likely than not, it's because the person that's trying to explain themselves isn't doing a very good job explaining themselves.
But I saw you
And
have a filter to remove the ums and the ahs, right?
it does its best to try to remove everything. You can always
Yeah.
additionally manually remove them if the AI missed something. But overall, I think it'll clean up your speech. It'll help you identify your speech patterns and the way that you're speaking, and help you figure out, okay, what are the trends of what the AI is liking about what I'm doing and what is it not liking about what I'm doing. So I think that's one really cool use case. There's literally limitless use cases. And our main ambition here over the first half of this year is we will be expanding to be able to basically clip anything, right? The main limitation of our clipping tool right now is that it does require speaking, right? So somebody, it is based primarily on large language model. There are some visual triggers. We are rapidly improving, just like you saw with Jeremy, our ability to actually do a lot better recognition and then decision making on video itself, right? So it'll actually have those sort of visual elements and those visual triggers and hooks to be able to say, okay, here's what's happening visually. Okay, there was a scene change here. It'll be able to identify the individual scenes within the video and be able to make decisions on them, so that we can do anything from vlogging content to clipping up the NFL's content to clipping up whatever it is out there that has a maybe isn't like really speaking driven, but is something that you'd still want to have highlight moments from.
Dark and so before we move on to Nick, and I really want you to see what he has, because it brings it full circle. Let's bring Jeremy back, because I didn't ask you something really important, and I was very US centric. And Felix came onto the call, and hi Felix, and I realized you both do localization into foreign languages, or no? Not yet. Or
Not yet, but it's coming really soon. I'm sure Connor's doing it too. It's going to be table stakes in the space.
yeah.
If I'm being honest, I'll tell you the conundrum that we have, and I'm curious others takes, just to plant a seed for the future, is subtitling. Opus does it, we do it. Every tool has some version of it, but so do the players. And so the question I have is, should we all be investing in cool ways for the video to have the subtitles, or do we just trust YouTube, TikTok, and LinkedIn and everybody else? They're going to do a great job, because it's going to suck if you've got double subtitles, right?
Yeah.
That's not going to be that's going to be good for nobody. So just plan and I wonder the same on internationalization, right? YouTube's going to have real-time video translation in your voice 6 months from now, a year.
Next week, we're using one at an event called Verbit, and it's a QR code, and then the translation just happens on your phone. Because when we use translation, closed captioning is now the wrong word, but real-time captioning at CES, nobody told us about it, and we lost the top of our slides because the whole thing took up the caption. So I think you're right. It's a sort of a sticky, whose job is it? And, and there are lots of different ways to get it done, but it's got to get done. And so I guess when people are thinking about it, know that, right, Google does it, TikTok does it, YouTube does it. So that's a way that they can get around it. And I guess my challenge to all of you in the audience is to take our program today and run it through Opus Clip, and find your best, see how we did. It'll be brutal. So
Yeah.
thank you guys. Any other
Absolutely.
questions besides?
Yeah, let me just add, I think to address Jeremy's question, I mean, I've been working with some of the some really big everyone from really big YouTubers to some pretty big brands that are very active on YouTube, and across the board pretty much all of them hate the built-in players, captioning players. They're messy, they don't really the text is either too tiny or too large, and they don't ultimately have control, right? And that's really what as you get more and more professional and to the higher level, the real video experts, the people that are really diving into the data and taking advantage of Nick and others' tools, you'll see that they really care about every little detail, and those captions are a big detail to them. And so they want to be able to create their own specific caption style, apply that style, and then be able to internationalize it themselves before YouTube's even touched the video, for sure. So I do think there's a lot of potential there. We are available in 22 languages currently. Obviously, still a lot of localization to go for improving those, not only those languages but all the others out there. As I'm sure you've experienced, Jeremy, there's a lot of challenges with it, especially in terms of every language has different lengths to them. They take up different amount of spaces on the screen,
Yeah.
and they have a lot of different sort of quirks in terms of translation and how even within, for instance, a language like Spanish, right? We group like Latin American Spanish into one big group, but that's not even true, right? Colombian Spanish and Mexican Spanish are more different than Spain Spanish. So, I think there's still a lot of challenges with localization of language, but we'll get there soon enough.